Hey, Liam Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Today I'm going to teach you to bend notes while tongue blocking. This is a question I get asked a lot, so I'm going to try and break it down and talk about the key aspects of trying to achieve this. I'm using a C diatonic harmonica. You could try this on any key of harmonica, but I think a C is probably going to be the easiest because it's a mid-range instrument, not too low, not too high. I'm going to focus on the 4 draw, but again, you could use any of the holes that will bend. So the first thing to do is make sure you've got your basic tongue blocking mouth shape right. Now this might seem obvious, but this is so often the problem with people's bending technique. So if you're not getting a good basic mouth shape and seal on the instrument, you're going to struggle with the bend. You need to make sure you get close on the harmonica, not grabbing it, gripping it or biting it at all, but you are really far onto the instrument. So if I play a 4 draw with my tongue block shape, not bending it, but just to show you the shape, you can see I'm really quite far onto the instrument. And the importance of that is that you've got a tight seal around the instrument. Your lips form a good seal. That means that when you're breathing in on that 4 draw, you're playing efficiently. The air is coming through the instrument rather than getting lost or just kind of not kind of your effort not being used to actually produce the note itself. So you should be able to get, with that kind of shape, a really good clean note. If you're not able to get a clean 4 draw, you're not going to get a good bend on that 4 draw. So assuming that we've now got a good basic mouth shape with our tongue block, the next step is to try our bend. Now the difficulty most people come up against is that if you are lip pursing a bend, your tongue comes backwards in your mouth. So if you go from the side, so this is the front, this is the back, you're kind of humping it up like that or pulling it down at the back so that it kind of curves up. Now how do you do that when the tongue is actually planted on the instrument? How is that going to work? Well, we can actually apply the same ideas, the same techniques as our lip purse. The difference is what I would describe as hampered cueing. So that's a snooker analogy, which means that when you've got your snooker cue and you're trying to hit a ball, let's say there's some other balls in the way or you're near a pocket on the table and it's difficult to use your normal technique. You don't then try a completely altered technique. It's just that you use your standard technique and adapt it. So that's what we're going to do here. So because our tongue is on the instrument, we can't come back like that. But what is coming back like that doing? Well, it angles the air and it allows this cavity, this space, to produce a lower note. So what we can do if our tongue is on the instrument is, if it's kind of pretty low like that, we can still try to kind of create that hump, create that change of angle. So the air comes in at a different angle and we get a different space, a different cavity in the instrument. So it's more, instead of thinking of pulling the tongue back, which you might think of with a lip purse, you're sort of thinking, obviously keep it on the instrument, almost push it upwards, push the tongue upwards to create that same change of shape. So it's the same basic idea, but the difference is that the back of the mouth and the throat have to do more of the work. More of the emphasis lies on those because you're not able to use the tongue or just kind of get it as easily with the tongue. So that's my bend on the 4 draw with a tongue block. I can feel the tension come into my tongue and I can feel myself kind of starting to make that movement like that. But The key here is that it's a subtle change. And this is the same with your lip pursing, in that most people go too far. They pull the tongue right back, and it's the same with this, that you don't want to just shove your tongue right up at the top and mean there's no space for the air to come in at all. It's a subtle change. You've got to experiment. You've got to try a bit of tension, a bit of a kind of movement at the middle and the back of that tongue to try and see what will happen, and then respond, pay attention to what the instrument is doing. Is it changing at all? What tone is it making? And you should start to be able to isolate that sweet spot when that note will start to move. And that's your bend. The final thing I'll say is that bending feels very personal, and people describe it in different ways, and because you can't see what's happening, it always requires trial and error. So I hope what I've explained to you today makes some sort of sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on with your bending, with your tongue blocking. And if you'd like to learn more about bending or about tongue blocking, then try a free trial of my harmonica school. I'm offering 30 days absolutely free. You can go and take as many courses as you like, including a tongue blocking course and a bending course, as well as loads of other stuff from beginner to advanced, loads of blues harmonica lessons. If you don't like it at the end of the trial, then you can leave, absolutely no obligation. If you carry on, you can either pay monthly or yearly as a subscription and keep your access to the school. Okay, I'll see you again soon for another harmonica lesson. Until then, enjoy your practice. Cheers.